Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive into AI. Today we've got a ton of news to get through.
It's been a crazy week.
Yeah, so let's jump right in.
Sounds good.
All right, so first up, this Chinese startup DeepSeek, they just released their new chatbot R1.
And they open sourced it.
Yeah, which is huge.
Right away, we saw the U.S. tech index drop $1 trillion. Investors are spooked.
Yeah, that's a pretty clear sign that people are taking this seriously.
I mean, R1, it looks like it can go toe-to-toe with the leading U.S. AI models. But DeepSeek built it using older hardware. Less powerful stuff.
So they're doing more with less.
Way more. It's amazing. Plus, that open source approach, it's a
Look,
real shakeup.
For those who don't know, open source means anyone can use this tech, modify it, build on it.
It's the total opposite of what companies like OpenAI are doing. They keep
Right.
everything secret.
So this could actually speed up AI development, but also who knows what could happen.
Exactly. It's exciting, but there are definitely concerns.
Control misuse.
Yeah, all of that.
This isn't just a tech race anymore. It's like two different philosophies of AI are going head to head.
I think that's a great way to put it. On one side, you have DeepSeek openness collaboration, and on the other side, you have OpenAI's Stargate project, this massive $500 billion data center. They're going all in on building their own proprietary AI.
So the US is betting on size. China's going for agility, a more decentralized approach. Some people are calling this a Sputnik moment.
I can see why they're saying the U.S. could lose its edge in AI.
DeepSeek has definitely shown that you don't need massive infrastructure to be a major player.
Right. Innovation efficiency. A global community of developers. That can be just as powerful, maybe even more so.
That $1 trillion drop kind of speaks for itself. So what does all this mean for the average person, someone like me who's just trying to keep up with all this?
I think the big takeaway here is adaptability. You got to understand not just the tech, but the philosophies behind it. Is AI a tool to be shared or a weapon to be controlled? DeepSeek is forcing us to think about that.
Okay, so we've got this philosophical battle going on, but at the same time, other companies are making moves. LG just bought Bear Robotics.
The service robot company.
Right. Imagine a robot serving you your next latte.
It's not just about coffee, though. Elder care hospitals, dangerous environments. The possibilities are pretty much endless. This acquisition shows that AI is moving beyond the digital world. It's coming into our physical spaces.
So much to think about. We've got this huge debate about the future of AI development. And at the same time, companies are integrating AI into everyday life at an insane pace.
And it's only going to get faster. Another development we need to talk about is the rise of AI agents. Systems that can interact with the web, do things on their own.
So AI that can actually do things, not just answer questions. That sounds straight out of science fiction.
Except it's happening right now. Think about a system that could book your flights, but also negotiate a better price. Read reviews, suggest other destinations based on your preferences.
So it's not just following instructions. It
No.
can learn and adapt.
Exactly. We're moving from AI as a tool to AI as a potential collaborator.
Okay, hold on. I need you to break this down for me. And for our listeners, what exactly can these AI agents do? What are some real-world examples?
Think about research. Imagine an AI that can crawl the web for you, pull out specific info, summarize complex documents.
That would be amazing for students, researchers, journalists, anyone who deals with a lot of information.
Right. And it could even cross-reference sources to check for bias. Make sure you're getting the full picture.
So it's not just gathering info, it's analyzing it, synthesizing it. That's next level stuff.
Yeah.
What about something like scheduling meetings?
Oh, yeah. An AI agent could find a time that works for everyone. Factor in travel time, time zones, even individual preferences, like how long people like their meetings to be or what format they prefer.
It's like having a personal assistant that can think for itself. But how do you even program something that complex? How do these agents learn and adapt?
That's where machine learning comes in. They're trained on huge data sets, learning to spot patterns, predict outcomes, make decisions based on the info they're given.
So they can learn from their mistakes too.
Right, they get better over time. It's not about programming every single scenario. It's about giving the agent the ability to learn on its own.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
But also kind of scary. We're talking about AI that can act autonomously.
That's a huge shift. We're moving from AI as a tool to AI as something that can potentially act on its own, which raises all sorts of questions about accountability, transparency.
Unintended consequences.
Neither.
What about jobs? If AI can do research, schedule meetings, even serve coffee, What happens to the people who do those jobs now?
That's a big one.
Yeah.
We need to be talking about this. The rise of AI agents is going to disrupt a lot of industries. We need to be prepared. Retraining programs, education initiatives, maybe even policy changes.
This is way bigger than just robots are coming for our jobs.
Yeah.
This is about a fundamental shift in the way we work, maybe even the way we live.
The development of AI agents, it's not just a technological advancement, it's a societal one. It makes us rethink our relationship with work, our expectations of technology.
Even what it means to be human in a world that's becoming increasingly automated. Okay, so we've got DeepSeek and their open source approach, and now AI agents, which seem to be more on the proprietary side. What about companies like Apple? They're building AI right into their devices and operating systems.
Apple's doing something different. They're focusing on making AI seamless, invisible almost, part of the user experience.
So it's less about these standalone AI agents and more about AI just being there in the background.
Exactly. Think about predictive text, voice assistants, personalized recommendations. It's all AI, but it's designed to be so intuitive you don't even realize it's working.
So is that more disruptive or less disruptive than something like an AI agent that you actually interact with?
It's a different kind of disruption. AI agents will probably have a bigger impact on specific tasks, industries, but this gradual integration of AI into our everyday tech, that could end up changing everything in a much more subtle way.
It's like a slow drip versus a sudden splash.
Yeah.
Both can be powerful, but in totally different ways.
Right. And these things aren't happening separately. The lines between open source and proprietary, between agents and integrated AI, it's all getting blurry.
So it's not just about different companies or countries competing. It's about different approaches to AI all happening at the same time.
And that's what makes this such a fascinating time to be following AI. It's unpredictable. It's exciting.
It's a lot to keep track of. What should we be paying attention to as all this keeps developing?
Focus on the big picture. Is AI development being done ethically? Is it promoting innovation? Access to knowledge? Are we addressing the risks, the potential downsides?
Good point. It's not just about the tech itself.
Yeah.
It's about the values behind it, the intentions.
And that's a conversation we all need to be a part of, the future of AI. It's not something that's going to be decided by a few tech companies. It's going to be shaped by all of us.
So what does all this mean for the average person? Someone who's not a tech expert but wants to stay informed.
Stay curious. Ask questions. Be willing to learn. The world of AI is changing fast. The only way to keep up is to stay engaged, stay informed, and be aware of how all this is going to impact our lives, our society.
Great advice. Before we wrap up, we have to talk about AI-powered coding assistants. We've seen tools like PotPy popping up. They can actually help developers write better code.
It's like having an AI pair programmer right there in your IDE. They can analyze code bases, find errors, even suggest ways to write code more efficiently.
So they're not replacing programmers, they're giving them a new tool.
Exactly. And it's already making a big difference. Productivity is up, errors are down, development cycles are faster. It's really shaking things up.
If AI can help us code, what does that mean for the future of software development? Will we need fewer programmers?
I think it's going to be a mix. Some tasks will definitely be automated, but that'll free up developers to focus on the more complex stuff, the creative stuff.
So it could actually be good for programmers in the long run.
I think so. But it definitely highlights how important it is to be adaptable, to keep learning. As AI gets more advanced, the skills we need to succeed are going to keep changing.
It's not just about learning to code anymore. It's about learning to learn.
And that's a skill that's going to be essential in the age of AI.
We're going to have to stop here for today and continue our discussion on the next episode of The Deep Dive. See you tomorrow.
Absolutely. It really is. The ability to learn and adapt, that's key in this new world.
So we've talked about a lot today. DeepSeek's arrival and what it means, the whole open source versus proprietary AI debate, AI agents, AI showing up everywhere, from our phones to coffee shops.
Yeah, it's been a whirlwind. We've seen power dynamics shift, lines between different approaches to AI getting blurry.
Yeah.
We've even glimpsed into a future where AI isn't just a tool, it's a collaborator, a competitor, maybe even a source of some pretty big questions about what it means to be human.
It's a lot to take in. That's why we do these deep dives, to try and break down these complex issues and help you guys, our listeners, make sense of it all.
Right, because this is a conversation that's just getting started. AI is evolving so quickly. The choices we make today are going to shape this tech and how it impacts our lives.
So what are the big takeaways here? The things we should be thinking about as we move forward?
The biggest one for me is that AI isn't some far-off thing. It's here now, and it's already changing everything. We need to be informed, engaged. We need to think critically about the potential benefits and risks.
We can't just be passive. We need to be involved in shaping how AI develops. making sure it aligns with our values, our vision for the future.
Right. And that starts with asking questions, having these conversations, demanding transparency and accountability from the people who are building and using these powerful technologies.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
And on that note, we'll wrap up this episode of The Deep Dive. Thanks for joining us on this exploration of the always evolving world of AI.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time, keep learning, keep asking questions, and keep diving deep.